welcome blessing. And one of the things I think I picked out from the people speaking on the streets of Zimbabwe is that it's a mixed kind of feeling. So is that what you're getting when you talk to a wider kind of variety of people?
Of course, we have talked to a number of Zimbabweans. Zimbabwe is our bread and butter. That's what we do every day. Of course, Zimbabweans are saying that they are happy that Mr. Mugabe has finally gone into retirement. He's the only president that they've known since 1980. But Mr. Mnangagwa, who is coming in, has always been in the same government. He was a minister in 1980, and he has worked with Mr. Mugabe since 1976. They go a long way, and according to Mr. Mnangagwa himself, he views Mr. Mugabe as his father. So there is, I think this is why this sense that nothing much has changed. Of course, Mr. Mugabe is out, but some have even described Mr. Mnangagwa as Mr. Mugabe's clone, or Mugabe on steroids.
In fact, some people have said that over the years, Mnangagwa was actually the enforcer.
Indeed.
And so whatever we saw, most of the times people may have seen Mugabe, but actually it was Mnangagwa working from, behind Mugabe, right?
Indeed. Yeah. So I think this is why people are saying that there might not be any change coming. But of course, I think he still has to be given time to prove himself, because maybe previously he would just say, I was taking instructions from Mr. Mugabe. Now that he's in charge, let's see if he's going to deliver. And he has got 8 months. Yes. It's important to note that he has only 8 months because he's finishing President Robert Mugabe's term. Yes. So Zimbabwe is going for elections at least July or August.
Yes. Now, we have heard that Mugabe's family has been accorded immunity from prosecution. Is that something people are excited about, especially Mugabe's wife, given that she has behaved in ways that most people didn't like?
We are not shocked by this development because I think as a way of putting pressure on President Robert Mugabe to resign, they were saying, remember the military, when it moved in, they said that we want to protect the president from the so-called malcontents. And the malcontents included his wife, Grace Mugabe. So that was a way that they were using to force Mugabe to step down, to say, if you don't step down, we are going to prosecute your wife. But if you step down, we'll grant you immunity. So we are not shocked by this latest development. But of course, some Zimbabweans that we are talking to are saying that, the former First Lady and Mr. Mugabe himself had accumulated so much wealth, in a corrupt way. So they want, if, for example, they are granted immunity, but at least to take back to the state coffers some of the millions that they claim that they stole.
Which is only fair. It's Zimbabweans' money. Somebody shouldn't just keep it. Now, tomorrow is the swearing in of Mnangagwa. What do we know about Tsvangirai? Is he going to be seen there, opposition leader Morgan Tsvangirai?
Initially, we had heard that he was not invited, but shortly before coming on this show, I talked to one of Mnangagwa's very close ally, Munyaradzi Paul Mangwana. He's the ZANU-PF Deputy Secretary for Legal Affairs. He said, they have sent out an invitation to Mr. Tsvangirai. They also hope President Robert Mugabe will be there. They've also invited Uhuru Kenyatta and all the SADC regional leaders and former presidents, Kenneth Kaunda and others, Joaquim Chisano, Thabo Mbeki and others.
Now, very quickly, we know that this is almost like an accelerated inheritance for Mnangagwa, but at the end of the day, ZANU-PF is expected to face off with whatever opposition there will be 8 months from now. Are we likely to see a kind of a repeat of what we've seen in the past in the contest between these parties?
Yeah, we are likely to see that, but ZANU-PF is now promising reforms, because remember, Zimbabwe was going for elections that were immediately condemned by the international community, and the international community was not willing to invest in Zimbabwe. And after elections, it was more of the same. The economic crisis just worsened. So I think it's one of the conditions that there be free and fair elections so that the international community can work with Iraq.
Well, we'll watch and see what happens.
Indeed.
Blessing, thank you very much, as
Thank
always.
you, Vincent.